Welcome back, D-Slate Reptiles. Everything exciting, everything exotic. Right here, we have a Amazon Surinam horned frog. This little guy right here is also known as the Pac-Man. This is a bigger version of the Pac-Man. This frog right here, you must keep him moist, but never submerge in water. You will drown him. So basically, you're going to need you a brick of cocoa hub, and you're going to soak that in water, and then once it breaks down, it will look like that. And you will need you a jungle mix. You want to add moisture as needed for humidity, and then just add a little bit of sphagnum moss, some leaf litter for enrichment, and we got a little hide for them, little bark hide. Got the mixture right here, and we're gonna put the cocoa hub fiber on top of that. They love to burrow. And see on the top of their head, those two things that look like horns, which gives them the name horned frog. Surinam horned frog, aka Pac-Man. They will bury themselves as far as they can in the leaf and the debris and matter on the forest floor, and they'll sit there and they'll wait. They're ambush predators. They'll wait for mice, lizards, bugs, other frogs, and they will eat them. And yes, they are cannibals. They will eat their own kind, so do not house them together. They can only be housed alone. Only time you put two together is when it's mating season, so they're cannibalistic. Even the babies. They can lay anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 eggs. And the tadpoles, as soon as they come, they will start eating each other. So you might have 2,000 tadpoles, and at the end, it'll be maybe 40, 30. So very interesting frog. Pretty cool guy. Look at those eyes. If I can get them in there. I don't want to stress them out too much. Another thing about these guys, when you handle them, try to wear gloves or make sure your hands are washed. You don't want any soap, any type of perfumes, lotions, anything like that, because their skin is very sensitive and it can absorb easily the toxins from your hand. Even the oils from your hand can be detrimental to your frog, so keep that in mind. I also added a heat pad halfway across the tank. You could do room temperature if the ambience of that room is 70 to 80 degrees. Nighttime, you go a little lower. You don't want to go no lower than 65. So I do have a heat mat under there. They do not need above heat. And like I said, if your room's warm enough, you don't need the heat mat at all. So make sure your mixture's right. Add the right moisture. And never, ever, ever give them purified water. The chlorine from it will kill them. And then if you do tap water, get you some chlorine-free drops, reptile drops. Drop it in there, get that chlorine out of that water, because they will soak that chlorine up and they can get sick from it. It's a lot to them, but once you get the basics, it's a very easy animal to keep. And pretty cool. Start him off, he's gonna be eating crickets, and then you work them up to the point where you're giving them a fuzzy or a little pinky. But you don't want to give them too many because they're very fattening, and then get your frog pretty fat and obese. They're already going to be a nice plump size, but you don't want to overdo them because they'll eat and eat till they can't eat anymore. When you feed them, you basically want to give them about whatever they can eat for 5 minutes, but usually as babies, small babies, they'll do like 4 or 5 crickets, and then they work their way up to 10 and so on. So this is part 1 of the care of the Surinam horned frog, aka Pac-Man. Pretty cool frog. I'm gonna get back to work, finish everything up, and I will let you see the finished product as soon as I am finished. Give one more look at this beautiful guy. He's gorgeous. So I want to thank you for tuning in to D-Slate Reptiles, and I will be back to you with a part 2 of the Surinam horned frog, aka Pac-Man. I don't know what I'm gonna name this little guy yet. It's gonna be something cool. So stay tuned. Think about the environment. Take care of your animals, and remember, everything's exciting, everything exotic. D Slate Reptiles.